Hey, what's up, Coach? What are we doing today? Now we ran 200 meters, everybody, and we're not as good as some of these folks who've been running laps after laps after laps. Our friend Benjamin is somewhere out here.
Yeah.
And last we checked with him, he had done 14 laps, which is like I haven't done that many laps on a track since I was in high school. So my hats off to everybody.
I'm recovering from last night.
You did. Now you watched the UFC.
I loved it.
And you loved it.
And I'm not a UFC guy at all, but I had the greatest time. It was so good. And
what's up, Boxnard? Hey, let me ask you this, a boxing question, because Boxnard asked it. Who wins, Canelo versus Fielding? Have you ever heard of Rocky Fielding, by the way?
No, who wins?
Hey, somebody says you are unemployed with bad credit.
No, I got this. How about this? How about Canelo versus Boxnard?
Oh man, this guy's called Ass Nose T. Now he's just trolling. He's just being rude. But you liked it, right? Well, no, do you know who Rocky Fielding is?
I have no idea.
He's a British fighter, super middleweight contender. He holds the WBA's regular title at 168 pounds.
Yeah. No, I think it's a great move. But, you know, I did see the tweet. I mean, it's really good that Canelo's coming back fighting this quickly after those 2 losses.
That was Tom Loeffler trolling.
That was good.
And shout out to Tom. He's out of the country. He's the international man of mystery. Although he's not a mystery. If you follow 360 Promotions social media, you see he was in Germany, and then he was in Ukraine, Kiev, for the WBC convention, and now he's back in Germany. So probably taking a much deserved break from this boxing business. But as soon as he gets back, he's going to be right back on his grind, because there's a Hollywood Fight Night scheduled for October 30. Yeah, the night before Halloween. That'll be pretty cool.
So Ryan Scalia was there with him.
Yeah, Scalia is doing the conventions. Yeah, we had a guy, Anson Wainwright, who was there. So, I've never done one of the sanctioning body conventions, but I'd like to. And my first one will probably be a WBC convention. This guy asked, is it true Pacquiao signed a 2-fight deal with Heyman? I don't know. And somebody else asked, is Samir going to be back? Yes, eventually Samir will be back. And shout out to Samir as well.
In Canada or America?
What was that?
Is he coming back to Canada or America?
If he comes back to Canada, we got to do a road trip to Canada and do a Periscope from Canada. Anyways, tell me about Khabib McGregor, because obviously I missed it. I was watching the DAZN show from Chicago.
JP made a lot of money.
Yeah, and JP went big on Khabib,
huge.
Right?
Well, JP's birthday was yesterday, and JP just bought a house this week. So he had a bet big to pay for the house.
I guess so.
And he won.
Came through.
He won big time. Yeah.
Now, you guys weren't freaked out or offended or horrified by the set tripping, the melee that happened after Khabib McGregor.
I sort of liked it.
Would you call that a riot, or is that
it was out of control.
Is that overstating it? Yeah.
No, it was not even close to a riot. But I remember they used to have minor league baseball here before the Dodgers came.
These guys are saying Khabib owned Conor. You would agree with that? And Boxnard says Khabib versus Conor was a WWE event.
It sort of was. I mean, there was no chance that Conor could win, but I thought he looked really good. The other guy had all the tools, but I was saying, when they had minor league baseball,
and Rod R said it was a mini riot at best.
Well, yeah.
And King K100 says Khabib is the best. Which
Khabib's real good.
Hey, I won't argue with that. But I don't know any better. So.
I was saying, when they had minor league baseball here, and that was like in the 40s and 50s.
Yeah.
They used to have melees.
Yeah.
I mean, like way worse than this.
Melee.
Really. I mean, we're all bent. Everyone came out from both sides, and
but no social media, and everybody didn't have their own phone.
But they had newspapers, and it was a big deal.
Would they talk about it in the news?
Big
the next day they would write about it.
For a few days, it was a big deal.
Sure.
I mean, they were huge fights. I mean, like way bigger than this was.
But
this was hard to say where it was going to go. But I was listening to Dana White afterwards.
Yeah.
And he said, they sort of anticipated something happening.
Yeah,
and,
it was a real possibility given the animosity.
They had a lot of security.
Yeah. And those guys are both a little crazy. Khabib seems a little crazy, and he's got a jacked-up crew. And Conor is an over-the-top showman, and he's got a jacked-up crew. Yeah, you know what I mean by jacked up? I mean, like, these guys, their testosterone is off the charts.
But Conor's more of a put-on guy.
Yeah, no, he's a showman. That's what I say. He's a showman, over-the-top personality.
And they took it real seriously, the other guys. And so you could see even during the fight, Khabib was really upset with Conor at the end of each round. He was. Yeah. He wanted to fight him in between rounds.
Yeah.
So, but it was good. But they had the semi-main was this guy Ferguson. I'm not into UFC at all, but it was really good. It was a great show, and I love Bruce. I love Bruce Buffer.
Oh, he's the best. Come on.
I didn't like his sports jacket.
Oh, come on.
It was pretty crazy, but he is so...
This guy says Galata versus Bo Riot, still the gold standard of riots. Yeah, man, you might be right. That's Fat Sinatra 01. I like that that name, by the way, too. I like that handle.
No, that was really good. So, these friends of mine that I watched boxing with, they didn't want to watch it last night. They just weren't into it. They thought it was a joke, but it was very, very entertaining.
You're open-minded, Coach.
I did like it. It was
so
good. Somebody
asked, I think it was Boxnard, he's asked, what network is Canelo going to align himself with? Is it going to be Showtime or DAZN? And to him, I would say it could be all the above. He could do the free agent thing and just do one-offs with everybody like Sugar Ray Leonard used to do. I imagine Showtime's a good fit because they understand the pay-per-view business. Canelo's a pay-per-view guy. They've got a lot of good dance partners for him with, bless you, Benjamin, with, the Charlos and, Errol Spence Jr. That would be a huge fight in Texas, and they have got other middleweights as well. The DAZN platform would be really good for just the rest of Golden Boy's stable because they do so many shows. They could keep everybody active and on a streaming platform. There's others. There's networks that haven't been announced yet.
NBC.
It's just NBC with main events, but there's networks that have never been involved in boxing.
YouTube
that are looking into it. And I'm talking about
Netflix.
Well, that'd be awesome if Netflix got involved. But I think we're going to see a lot. We're going to see more boxing on more networks and platforms than ever before in 2019.
Well, you saw how
and ultimately it'll be good for boxing.
The way Evan broke it down.
Oh yeah, Evan Rakowski.
Yeah, he broke it down that the profit margin.
This guy says rumors of Triple G might go to ESPN, and I would say that's a good fit.
Well, for the Harada fight.
Well, if that you mean Murata.
Murata for the Murata fight.
And Rod R says the DAZN card was good last night, and I agree. I watched it, Rod, and I thought the main event was really entertaining.
Was Michael Buffer the announcer?
Yes, he was. Yeah.
So he's with them.
Or wait, was he? Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Michael I saw Buffer. An interview with Espinoza during the week.
Yeah.
He was good.
Yeah.
No, he's a sharp guy.
Very sharp.
Yeah, and he also, he didn't have to think about his answers. They asked him a question, and he answered it. It was very refreshing.
Yeah.
I really liked him a lot.
Yeah. Triple G versus Charlo. Who wins? I got to favor Golovkin in that one. But it's a young man's game, and Triple G's not getting any younger. And Charlo, like Canelo Alvarez, is at his peak. King K100 says Triple G easy. I don't know about easy, but I favor Triple G.
Well,
this guy says, never mind Conor and Khabib, Naoya Inoue is the real monster. Hey, you're right. At 118 pounds, kid looks like the truth.
And we saw him live.
Somebody says it's Steve Farhood with DAZN now. No, Farhood is still with Showtime. Yeah. Which isn't to say he's not available to do things for other platforms.
He is really good.
Yeah, but I don't think Farhood's going to be on camera on DAZN.
So Farhood gave you your first break?
Yes, he did. Farhood was the editor of Ring Magazine when I first started doing freelance boxing stories, and he encouraged me. I used to write him letters with story ideas, and he would shoot down 95% of them because they did suck, rightfully so. But one of my pitches to him was a feature on Shane Mosley, and he said, this was like in '95, and he said, keep an eye on Shane. I think he's a terrific talent. We just have no idea if he's ever going to be able to prove how good he is, because he's managed by his dad, and word on the street is the dad is difficult, so he hasn't signed with a major promoter, which is holding him back, which was true at the time.
But his dad made the #1 greatest move for him,
going from lightweight to welterweight to fight Oscar De La Hoya.
Yeah. That was all his
It
dad.
was viewed as a gamble. Shane was a 3-1 underdog. I think people forget that. But anyways, you know where that was the first feature story I wrote for Ring, and that was in '97 that took place. But I had written a previous article. I remember when Peter Brody returned returned boxing to the Olympic auditorium,
the Grand Olympic.
Somebody asked about thoughts on Canelo fighting at 168 pounds in December, and I don't really care about the opponent. I just think it's good that he's coming back this quickly, that he's fighting in New York City and not in Vegas. And I think activity is good. I think it's good when the stars of boxing fight frequently. I think it's really healthy for the sport. And I think Fielding is solid. You know, obviously Canelo's the heavy favorite, but Fielding's not a bum. Fielding got knocked out in one round by Callum Smith some years ago, and everyone's holding that against him. But first round knockouts happen. You can't hold that against people. You can't let that color your view of a fight, you know, especially if the fighters put together a nice win streak. And Fielding has done that.
So what's the most shocking first-round knockout you ever seen?
When Abner Maris got sparked by Johnny Gonzalez, that was pretty shocking.
Mine is the second round, you know, when Roy Jones got knocked out.
Oh, wow, yeah, that was shocking, yeah.
That was pretty shocking.
That was
Smoking Joe.
Smoking Joe got knocked out in 2 rounds. George Foreman, and quite a few knockdowns. You know what? That fight probably could have gone out of the second round with a sadistic referee, because Frazier was going to keep getting up, but it was good that they stopped it when they stopped it, because Frazier was never going to beat George Foreman. Just the styles don't work out.
Frazier was a 4-1 favorite.
I know. Well, Foreman was looked at as unproven. Yeah.
And he was.
Exactly, he was. That's true. So,
do you know where that fight
Benjamin's with us. Say hi, Benjamin.
Hello, how you doing?
And my daughter Josephine's been here real quiet. She's totally bored by this. So can I get you to hold the phone while Coach asks me some questions?
Yes.
And Benjamin, feel free to.
So Benjamin runs marathons. So how many marathons have you run, Benjamin?
Oh, maybe 10.
10.
Wow.
Benjamin's an attorney in L.A.
Wow. 10 marathons.
He's out here every day.
I don't know. I don't think I'll ever run one marathon. Who wins, Mikey Garcia versus Comey? Mikey Garcia, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, Comey's solid. All these guys Mikey Garcia is fighting are solid contenders, legit contenders, but they're not in Mikey Garcia's league. He's an elite boxer, and he'll beat this guy. And that's fine. I just wish Mikey wouldn't toss out these names of other elite fighters or names of fighters in heavier weight classes and then just fight some guy in his natural weight class. It's kind of like, it's like, I'm going to start calling him bait and switch.
You know, somebody's in Mikey's ear.
Yeah, Mikey's in Mikey's ear. And Mikey needs to tell Mikey to shut up. Josie, you want Fury versus Wilder, Dougie? Hey, listen. I like both guys. They're larger than life personalities. They're huge heavyweights, but they're both the epitome of awkward. I think we can get an ugly fight, but I favor Wilder. Hi, Doug, Coach from Colombia. What's up, Paolo? What's up, Paolo Vega?
Hi, Paolo.
Checking in. Yeah. Everybody, Josephine speaks Spanish, so.
And Josie. Oh, he's so nice. He said hi to me. No one's ever done that.
Really?
Hi, Paolo. Thank you for saying hi.
Paolo's a cool guy. Paolo always retweets my stuff, like Mailbag and stuff like that, and he retweets like the really good podcasts, you know, like Steve Kim's podcast with Mario Lopez and Evan Rakowski's, I think.
Those are both good, but I gotta tell you,
Rakowski's is like a seminar. That's like a TED Talk.
I know, but
Did you hear even with the cold?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm like, this dude's a
Crawford
genius.
versus Spence.
By the way, did I tell you I met Evan?
Yeah.
Evan looks like a movie star.
I know. He doesn't sound like one.
I know. You think I'm just like some total nerd Like, no, okay, I'm going over the numbers now. Like, no, dude, he looks like a rock star.
Yeah, Crawford versus Spence.
Crawford versus Spence. That's one of those. I mean, that's one of those matchups where you go back and forth. You know, it's a toss-up, and one week you favor one guy, the other week you favor another guy. But this week I favor Crawford. I just think his versatility will be a little too much for Spence, who's kind of one-dimensional in his approach, but that one dimension, it's like Felix Trinidad in his prime. It's devastating.
Paolo said he'll be rewatching this late. He's going to the park with his kids.
All right, Paolo. Thanks for checking
he
in,
gets
though.
it.
Yeah.
Where's he going?
To the park with his kids.
Isn't that great?
See, if only my dad was like that.
Oh,
I'm
come
just
on!
kidding.
Oh man!
Oh.
I
I'm
can
just
tell
kidding.
if
I don't like going to the park that much. That's
Gonna be
why.
like,
This,
my
you know,
dad-
this is like therapy.
I know.
No, I'm just kidding. He takes me to like art bookstores. Oh,
Thank
box
you.
stores and ha ha ha.
All right, that's
Oh,
intellectual
wow.
part.
So let me ask you this, Josie. How are you getting home?
Oh, from school. Oh yeah.
Better call that
Some
Uber.
guy named Doug. I think. That's
Okay,
probably
I
the
have
perfect
some
name.
questions. You ready, Dougie?
Yeah. By the way,
Someone
always
said
repping
burn Josie.
Garcia Boxing,
Oh, Lomachenko versus
360
Mikey
Promotions.
Garcia.
What's up to Mike Styles?
Lomachenko versus Mikey Garcia.
I like that's a toss-up fight too, but I got to go with Lomachenko if he's healthy. Lomachenko, the Ring Magazine's #1 pound for pound.
He was here last night
Oh, was he?
at the UFC.
Oh, he was at the UFC. Cool. Yeah, I think he's begun his camp in Oxnard.
You know, he got a bigger response than a lot of the big movie stars there.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, then that's a
huge.
smart crowd. They know they're.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you also got to figure a lot of folks from the Russian
Yeah.
diaspora, you know,
Okay. So
that were there. You know, I mean, I'm sure there were lots of Irish fans. You know, a lot of Connor fans. But
I'm like
wonder what
something
happened
percent
after the
Irish.
fight
what do you mean?
between the fans. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
they just like.
I heard there were a lot of arrests. That's what I heard.
Okay.
I was glad I wasn't there. I don't like that stuff.
Hey, it's way better on TV. Anyway.
Yeah, it's totally better on TV.
It's really good. Hey, but
Oh, yeah, sorry. AJ close to P4P, a top 10.
Yes, he is. He's right outside the top 10. Yes.
Sorry for interrupting you, bitch.
Do you know who AJ is, Josie?
No.
Anthony Joshua, British
Oh, cool.
heavyweight sensation, holds 3 world titles, 3 major belts, and he's very. I mean, he fights in stadiums like 90,000 stuff like that.
and he can talk.
Yeah,
He's so good.
talk better than anybody.
He's so good.
Yeah. So, Coach, you got some
Yeah,
questions, right?
okay.
Q&A.
So I'll give you this one. This was October 2nd, 1942,
Woo.
in New York City.
Yeah.
This is too easy.
Uh-huh.
This is guy won 10-round decision,
Uh-huh.
first of 6 fights between.
All right, so it's the first fight between Ray Robinson and Jake LaMotta, and Ray Robinson won.
All right.
And Ray Robinson's 1942, that year alone, trumps most records in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
That's how you know a guy is great, when you just look at 1 year and it's like,
Yeah.
holy crap, you know? It's like, who didn't this guy fight? I mean, yeah, that was only his 2nd year as a pro. He turned pro in 1940. And he's a welterweight, and he wasn't even a big welterweight. He was still growing into welterweight. He turned pro at lightweight. Still growing into welterweight, and he fights a middleweight contender in his prime, a young, prime, future Hall of Fame, all-time great middleweight champ. Yeah.
Okay.
And he won. Yeah, he won.
I'll give you this one. Okay, this.
How's my jump rope?
Okay, I'll give you
You're
this.
pretty good.
Okay.
This was October 3rd,
Yeah.
1951, in Chicago.
Uh-huh.
First ever coast-to-coast televised fight,
Wow.
middleweights. And one of the middleweights was from Hawaii through San
Okay.
Francisco.
Barack
So that would be
Obama.
Carl Bobo Olsen,
Barack Obama.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But this is 1951.
Yeah. And And the guy he fought was just a regular fighter. You know.
Oh yeah. Well, was he a contender? Did he ever? Did the guy he fight ever win a title?
No.
Oh.
I don't know. And he was from. I looked this up.
Where's the opponent from?
I looked it up, and I think he might have been from Australia.
1951. I don't know who is it.
Dave Sands.
Dave Sands. I've read that name. I've seen it in record books.
Anyway, that's the first.
Hey, but Olsen was a popular TV fighter.
Huge.
Yeah, he was really popular.
Okay, so here's one. This was October 3rd, 1997. This was in Atlantic City.
1977?
1997.
Oh, 97.
1997.
Yeah.
KO5. Great fight. One of the guys was a real popular action fighter.
Yeah.
The other guy was from LA who had a brother.
Oh, okay, so this is a fight of the year, Ring Magazine fight of the year, I think.
Yeah.
It was Arturo Gatti defending his IBF junior lightweight title against Gabe Reyes.
Yeah, who did a great job.
Yeah, well, Gabe was a former champ himself.
Yeah.
Still in his prime, and dangerous. I remember Gabe was landing these uppercuts, and he was hurting Gatti, and it looked like he was on his way to stopping Gatti. But you know, the counterpunch for an uppercut is a hook. You know what I'm saying? If somebody's loading up on right uppercuts, they're open. They're naturally open for a hook, and Gotti had a great hook.
Yeah.
Like technically, it wasn't textbook. You know, he really wing it, but man, he put everything behind that hook.
But I saw that fight on TV.
Yeah, I think that was part of a pay-per-view. I think that the main event was Lennox Lewis, Andrew Galata. And a lot of folks thought Galata was going to kill Lewis, and I loved Lewis in that contest.
Why didn't Gabe Ruelas ever fight Oscar?
That was a fight that was talked about. Oscar fought Rafael Reyes, his brother, and knocked him out in 2 rounds.
Just
and
like
Gabe,
Chris Brown
Gabe
versus
Gabe was looked at as the more talented of the Reyes brothers.
Right.
The fight with Oscar never happened because Gabe was a natural featherweight, super featherweight. And he never went above that weight. And Oscar had a tall frame and was moving up in weight at rapidly. So after Oscar beat Rafael Reyes, he had unified 2 belts with that. It wasn't long after he stepped up to 140 pounds because the big fight to be made was Oscar De La Hoya versus Julio Cesar Chavez. So, you know, Reyes just got kind of left behind in weight. You know,
who was his trainer? Who was his promoter?
Both Reyes brothers were trained by Joe Goosen, and they were promoted by Dan Goosen. And then for a time, they were promoted by Top Rank when Top Rank bought out Tin Goose Promotions. Right, yeah.
Let's see a bit of those boxing skills.
Boxing skills, huh?
Yeah.
What y'all want me to do? Shadow box? should I get a
the one
sparring
fight you'll
partner?
win.
What was that?
Oh, never mind. I said that's the one fight you'll win. I'm just kidding.
Okay, I'll give you this one. Okay, this was...
My daughter's a hater.
Jokes.
Yeah, she's got Josie with jokes.
What did you do to her this week?
What?
What did you do to her?
Probably what I didn't do. What didn't I do? She had a boring day.
Yesterday.
She had a boring, right? Yesterday was boring.
Oh, yeah, someone said jab, cross,
listen, when you jab,
step,
folks, see, watch when I jab. Look at my feet.
Cynthia,
Josie, look at my feet.
Cynthia Conti joined.
What's up, Cynthia? Look at my feet. Look, when I jab, watch what my right leg does. The same time I jab, right? You see that? You see how from here, I'll put this up. Boom.
It's like you're dancing.
I know. It's like pop blocking, right? This is the mechanics of boxing right here. Boom. It's all with the feet. It's all with the feet. You start off with your feet shoulder length, right? If you're an orthodox fighter, take 1 step back with your right foot. Boom. That's your balance. You don't want to be able to. You don't want to lean forward. You don't want somebody to be able to push you back.
I call it stomping the roach.
Yes. Stomping the roach, right? Did somebody say that?
Yeah, the same person.
That's right. This guy. So
Happy
with
Sunday
your right foot, when you throw your right hand, it's like you're squishing a roach out. You don't just step on a roach. You got to step on them and squish them. You got to twist. So stomping the roach, he's talking about that pivot. So that pivot, it's with the right foot and the right hip.
I know. I
So
used to
it's
do softball.
boom, just like that.
So tell them who taught you this, Dougie.
A lot of guys. The
Like
first
who?
coach I had was Martin Snow at Gleason's Gym. This is the early 90s. This is 1992, 93 when I was at Columbia University. So that was Martin Snow at Gleason's Gym. When Martin couldn't be there, his stand-in trainer was an all-time great lightweight champion, Carlos Ortiz. And Ortiz was great. Now, that was like fantasy camp for me. And then in LA, I had a bunch of folks sort of teach me stuff. But I had a really good coach who was just 16 or 17 years old at the time, Carlos Navarro, and his older brother was Nacho Navarro was the guy who was working with me at LA Boxing Club. But his older brother, Carlos, was like one of the best amateur boxers in the world, not just the U.S. And his younger brother, Jose, made the 2000 Olympic team and was also an international level amateur boxer. And Nacho was more kind of national, regional. But I think Nacho had a stoppage, an amateur victory stoppage over Fernando Vargas, which is not too shabby. But yeah, he kind of taught me like the fitness and training part, and then I learned from like the old timers that used to hang around LA Boxing Club. I would learn little nuances and stuff like that.
So were you the only graduate student that was training at Gleason's?
I wasn't. Oh, Gleason's? No, Gleason's had, and even more so today, had they're kept in business by the white collar memberships that they have, And there were a lot of college guys and professionals that worked out at LA Boxing Club as well. Boxing attracts a lot of, like, I don't know why, it attracts a lot of lawyers, folks. You had a lot of guys in law school, and they, and they loved it. They were attracted to boxing, and they trained really hard. They were real regimented about everything. I don't know what it is. But
art.
Yeah, something about it. Yeah, but I always see guys that are either in law school or they're attorneys or they work for a law firm, and they were good amateur boxers or white collar boxers.
So it is an art, but what's the biggest art ever?
But my favorite trainer was Kevin Morgan, a former welterweight contender, who was all about conditioning and some bizarre technique because his father L.C. Morgan had it down. But these guys had natural knockout power in both hands, so he wanted you to get up close and do these crazy shoulder rolls and pivot and kind of change angles, but everything was uppercut, hook, cross, all this kind of stuff. And I'm not built like that. And he's like caveman strong or whatever. But he was a lot of fun because the conditioning was insane. Like we worked. He didn't mess with the mitts because his balance is bad from taking too many punches or whatever. But he had what you call the pillow. Yeah. That thing. He'd hold that. So you could really get some leverage and some power and volume on the pillow. You hold it here, and here to the gut, turn around. But we would work through the breaks. Like when the bell would ring, I would keep working. Everybody else stopped, and I would keep working hard. And I could do that because I was in my 20s. All my boxing experience, folks, is in my 20s. So
now you're almost 50.
Yes, I'm literally 20 years removed from the last time I sparred. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, not really.
Yeah. Well, I did do an exhibition. That was 2010, though. That's
Wait, not Ellie Secback. What's that guy's name?
Eloy Perez. Were you there? Did you go to that?
That was the one boxing event.
Yeah, the
and
Garcias
your sister
did
was
that.
like, oh no. I'm like,
hey, I was in the main event.
I was rooting for both of you guys.
Oh, really? Don't root for your dad. No, that's cool. That was good to root for Eloy.
Yeah.
Do you know there were two former heavyweight champs that boxed that night?
Yeah.
One was the late Tommy Morrison, and the other was Riddick Big Daddy Bo.
What happened to Big Daddy Bo?
Just retired.
Yeah, I was about to say, it sounds like a barbecue place.
Doesn't it? He loves barbecue.
Is there any way we get records of Golden Gloves, say from the way back, like in the 50s, 60s?
Yeah, you probably have to go through the Golden Gloves archive. You have to go through the Golden Gloves organization.
You have to go to the library.
Nothing better than someone breaking down and analyzing
It'd be great if
the
something like that was online, though, wouldn't it?
Execute the craft.
What was that?
Nothing better than someone who could, than someone breaking down. Oh, I forgot what it said. Something about the sport and execute the craft.
Whatever it was, it sounded well written.
Yeah, it sounds like something you would say. Like,
yeah, right.
Yeah, like when I asked you for help on an essay, you'd like tell me to write that. I'm like, what the heck?
Okay, I'm going to give you this question, Buggy. Okay, this is October 5th, 1974. 74.
Okay.
Guy's 10th defense of the middleweight title.
Oh, okay.
So you know who it
Yeah,
was.
that's Carlos Monzon.
Yeah. The guy he fought from Australia.
Oh, Anthony Mundine. He was a hard puncher, middleweight contender.
Yeah.
Where did the fight take place?
Buenos Aires.
Oh.
Yeah. And how did it end?
I think Monzon stopped him in the 7th round.
Dougie, amazing man, legend
right?
of the sport.
Am I?
Yeah.
You're welcome to say.
Hey, Dougie, that's good. That's good. Okay, so I'm going to give you this one. Now, we talk about driving, right?
Yes.
And we also have to talk about walking on the street.
Oh, yeah, walking.
Getting hit.
He did that today. He walked across the street when we were going to your place, and he made fun of me for running.
You know, you were on his case.
I know.
Wow.
I'm going to get this.
You know, people are not going to want to have kids if they hear this.
Hey, that's my public service announcement. Hey, be careful.
No,
Parenthood's no joke.
Who was not?
They grow up real quick and then they lay into you.
This guy.
You will pay for your sins.
This guy retained his super middleweight title in Berlin.
Yeah.
On the 7th of October, 1988, and he was not careful walking across the street this week.
Oh, okay. This is 1988. Defended in Berlin. Defended a super middleweight title.
Yep.
Was it? Did he defend it against an American?
Yeah.
Well, I know the title holder was a popular German fighter named Graziano Roscigiani.
Yeah.
And he died. Right? He got hit by a car. What a way to go.
I know.
Jeez.
In what country did he get?
Was it in Germany? No, where was it?
Italy.
Oh, he was in Italy.
Yeah.
I think he was obviously with that name.
Yeah.
He was of Italian
But he
ancestry.
lived both places.
I see.
So he got hit by a car. So he wasn't watching this.
They called him Rocky.
He wasn't watching our Periscope.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have done that. You got to look both ways.
Graziano Roscigiani.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would call him Rocky. And he fought, and so he defended the title against an American. Did the American ever win a title?
You never heard of him.
Oh, really? Was he? Say he was just a guy. Who was it?
Chris Reed.
Oh, Chris Reed.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with him.
So, okay, here's one.
He was very popular though, like Henry Maske and
he fought everyone.
Dariusz Michalczewski. He probably more so than like a Dariusz Michalczewski because Michalczewski was a dude from Poland.
Yeah.
Kind of came over there, but Michalczewski was popular, but all those guys helped like build boxing up in Germany.
Yeah.
Like Maske, because Maske was a gold medalist, I think, right at '84, and so obviously once he turned pro, he was a.
I accidentally faced the front camera for a second. I was like, oh,
okay.
crap.
We're boring you.
Okay. Did you want me to take that over? Or you,
Oh,
you okay?
if you want, but
No,
I'm okay.
It's up if you
Oh yeah,
don't want.
fantasy matchup.
I give
All right,
you
hold
this.
on. Give me two. Fantasy matchup.
Prime Roy Jones Jr. versus Hagler.
Ooh, at middleweight? You know, I hate to say it, Jones had the size and speed to outpoint, to do what Sugar Ray Leonard did, but with a little more authority because of his power. Now, Jones, we don't know how great his chin was. It wasn't really tested at middleweight because he was kind of untouchable. But I think you can make an argument for Roy Jones.
Oh.
But you know, the version that Leonard did that whole stick and move thing to, that was not the prime version of Hagler. And we don't know. I mean, let's put it this way. Under today's rules, with 12 rounds, a 12-round fight with previous day weigh-ins, I favor Roy Jones on points. I'm not so sure if it's a scheduled 15-round contest and they got to weigh in the day of the fight. I'm not so sure that Jones escapes Marvin Hagler. Because guys who could take Jones' power, that would apply pressure, they could get to him. Because Jones would instinctively go to the ropes or a corner. And all you boys and girls at home, go to YouTube and type in Roy Jones Jr. versus Jorge Castro. And Castro was just a tough, rugged dude from Argentina, had a lot of fights. Roy fought him as a prospect on his way up. But it does show you somebody with an iron chin, which Hagler had, that could apply good pressure. They could get to him. And Hagler, of course, was more than just a pressure fighter. He was a superb technician. So I'm not saying Hagler couldn't beat Roy Jones, but I'm just saying maybe Roy Jones, at his best at middleweight, could do what Sugar Ray Leonard did, but maybe with a little bit more authority, because Jones had incredible power.
Did Castro fight
Good morning,
John
Jacob.
David Jackson?
He did, and John David Jackson was killing him, was shredding his face, and then Castro got caught with a hook and got knocked out. And it was I think that was fight of the year. It was very dramatic.
Yeah. It was right at the end of the fight.
It was like Rocky. It was crazy. Yeah, it was like a Rocky movie. Castro went all the way up to cruiserweight. He challenged Vasily Girov for the IBF cruiserweight title. He was a super tough. I think he didn't get stopped until he went up to cruiserweight. So, and Castro, I think, started at welterweight. But just super tough, rugged.
Tough guy.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to give you.
Had over 100, well over 100 fights.
Wait, Suzy
Yeah.
versus Money May 135.
Who versus Money May?
TSZUY.
Oh, Zoo! God, Kostya Zoo, man. At 140 pounds? Zoo. That's easy. That's easy. That's a matter of styles, man. Zoo would have loved Mayweather's style.
You hate Mayweather so much.
That's not hate. That's not hate.
No, but you do hate him.
That's keeping it. I don't like him.
Okay.
I keep it. Listen, if you give me
No,
a
you're
former,
right.
if you give me a Hall of Famer or an all-time great versus Mayweather, who doesn't have the style to beat him, I ain't gonna just pick that guy over Mayweather. If you ask me who wins at 130, Mayweather or the late great Alexis Arguello,
You said 135?
I'll go with Mayweather. It's just a matter of styles, you know. But
about
Kostya Zoo doing this, Kostya Zoo doing this,
No, Kostya
doing
was
this.
incredible.
Kostya Zoo would have fun with that. That's not. I mean, I'm not saying it would be easy. Okay, I'm just saying Kostya Zoo beats that guy. He will always beat that style, no matter what the level of boxer. If you got to beat Kostya, you got to get inside in his chest, and you have to rip his heart out. And you got to walk through fire to do it.
Sorry, boss. Floyd would have Zoo.
No, dude,
putting
I'm the
himself
boss,
over-
and I know, my man. You don't
that's
know.
Tom Gray.
Oh, is that Tom Gray? Come on, Tom. Don't tell me Money May beat Kostya Zoo not at 140. Come on.
And you say you don't hate him.
Not at 140. Come on now. Maybe over that weight, you know. Kostya Zoo never fought in any weight class but junior welterweight.
So what do you
But
think
Zoo was the
happened-
truth.
what do
Zoo
you
was
think
the truth.
happened to Zoo was incredible.
It was the truth.
So what do you think happened though with him in the Hatton fight? That was shocking.
He got old.
Doug, is there going to be
He was
a
35.
rematch with Jesse
He was,
Vargas
listen, he was a natural
and Thomas
athlete,
DeLorme?
35, and he had been semi-retired. He'd been fighting like
Dad.
every 18 months.
Dad, is there going
And
to
he
be?
fought Ricky in Manchester, the best night of Ricky's life.
Yeah.
Ricky, you'd have to kill Ricky to beat him that night.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
I was going to say
What?
Tupac.
Tupac?
No, it's a Pac versus.
He's still alive, you know.
Arguello?
What?
Pac versus Arguello.
Oh, Arguello?
Arguello.
I think I
Arguello.
like Arguello.
Yeah.
Yeah, he catches him. Catches him coming in. Yeah.
Arguello.
Again, that's styles. That's styles. Because he's Pac's in, out, boom. You get hit with
Zoo
Arguello.
versus Pac.
I saw
Zoo
Arguello.
versus who?
Why do I keep wanting to say Tupac? Manny Pacquiao.
I like at 140. I like Kostya Zoo. I like Kostya Zoo.
Hey, so
But that's a tough fight, though. That's a tough
you
fight.
ready for?
Kostya's still king, everybody.
What about Aaron Pryor?
Aaron Pryor beats Kostya Zoo. It's styles. Because Aaron Pryor, nonstop punching, got the head movement, but nonstop power in both hands. Get in close, boom, boom, boom. You got to bust. You got to physically. You can't be a scientist against Zoo. You can't do that. He'll destroy you. if you can't be an outside guy touching, you can't be an amateur boxer versus Zoo. Zoo was a great amateur.
Zoo versus Crawford.
And a Hall of Fame pro. See, Crawford puts hands on guys. That's an interesting thing.
Sweet Pea versus Zoo.
Sweet Pea versus Zoo.
Opening everyone against Zoo.
I don't know.
That's good.
I'm going to go with Kostya in both cases.
But
Close
Zoo
fight.
also is real smart.
Very smart. Good with his money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
but he
total control
totally never lost
of
his temper.
everything. No.
Yes, you're right.
He was great.
You're right.
Yeah. But then what do you call it?
And he didn't resonate with people because of that.
Yeah.
He couldn't sell tickets. I mean, in Australia he could, but when he fought over here, man, those arenas were empty. I loved him. I loved the dude, but I covered his fights.
Michael Moore versus Michael Spinks, light heavyweight.
Ooh.
Who's that?
Michael Moore versus Michael Spinks. I'm gonna go with the Spinks jinx. I think he lands that jinx. But Michael Moore at light heavyweight was a killer.
How about Michael Moore as a trainer at Wildcard?
Excellent. Wildcard has had some excellent former fighters.
Yeah.
Southpaws. Frankie Lyles. I think Frankie Lyles is still around. He still goes up there every now and then, but he's training out of the valley, I hear. Frankie Lyles. Wow. What a boxer. Excellent amateur and excellent pro. And that's one of the guys I always wanted to see Roy Jones Jr. fight in the mid to late 90s at super middleweight. Never happened, though, because of politics.
Okay, so I'm going to give you this. I got a question.
Yeah.
October 7th, 2006. Double header in Las Vegas.
Okay.
Okay, one guy, the first fight, guy wins it in 12, wins the lightweight title from Cuba.
Yeah.
Okay. That would be Joel Casamayor. Right. This is...
Who's in... The guy he beat was in one of the, maybe the best fight yet.
Yeah. So this is Diego Corrales.
Right.
And this is probably the rubber match between Casamayor and Corrales. Yeah.
Okay.
Because their first fight was at 130 in 2000.
Bro, someone's watching from Tokyo. That's cool.
What's up, Tokyo?
About to sleep here in Tokyo.
Really?
Yeah, because y'all make them want to go to sleep. Because I guess you guys need some more energy.
Oh, okay. Well.
And I'm just kidding. Oh, also, Vinny Paz versus Shane Mosley.
Oh, that would have been a lot of fun. I like Shane. Like a lightweight or 140. Yeah, I like Shane. But Vinny would have made it fun. I tell you what, that would have got bloody towards the end.
Speaking of not...
But hey, Shane at lightweight, good grief.
Speaking of not
It's
being
Nick,
able to draw
by the way.
customers,
Yeah.
fans.
Yeah, Shane was never a huge ticket. Shane drew better on the East Coast than he did on the West Coast. I mean, you know, he had fans, but he was fighting in ballrooms. He was really a ballroom guy, but he was good TV.
If he had started with Top Rank, it would be different.
Yeah, because that's part of Top Rank's developmental plan is to build up
Oh, so someone
attractions
also...
and
Someone
their
earlier
regions.
said Andre Ward versus Roy Jones Jr. I forgot. Wait.
At 168, I got
middle
pick
or
Ward.
light heavyweight?
Light heavyweight, I like Roy Jones Jr. At and 168, I like Roy Jones Jr. I think Roy Jones Jr. was at his best at 168, and I think Roy Jones Jr. is the greatest super middleweight of all time. I think Roy Jones Jr. at his best at super middleweight beats all the others.
Jose Luis
Calzaghe is close.
Jose Luis Castillo versus Diego Corrales.
That fight happened. That was the great fight.
That happened twice.
That was 2005.
Yeah, they said.
They were answering.
One.
Yeah.
What a war.
Yeah, that was. Yeah,
Now, that's one of the best fights of all time.
I was there.
Okay,
Hey, that fight didn't sell.
so
That fight probably sold 3,000 tickets. 35. No, that's not an
if you
exaggeration.
talk to people that were...
Oh, everybody was there. Everybody was there.
And then what happened in the...
There were 50,000 people who claimed they were there. It's like 30, like literally.
But remember, they showed it on... They replayed it every day of the week.
Yeah,
for like,
Showtime was proud of it.
yeah, well, they should be.
Yeah.
Okay, so on that same card, this guy who was undefeated won a technical decision in 6 rounds from a guy who had a brother who fights too.
What year is this?
2006.
So it's
It was on the
2006.
same card as the Casamayor Corrales fight.
Oh,
So
okay.
the guy was a beast. The guy who won was a beast, who fought beat the older brother.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is Vic Darchinian beating Onito Donaire's brother. I don't know if it was his older brother or younger brother.
Older brother.
But what was his name? Was it Gabe? Gabriel? Not Gabriel.
Glenn.
Glenn. I knew it starts with a G. Glenn. Yeah, Glenn Donaire.
Okay.
Yeah. Nonito was the Flash.
Right.
Glenn was the Bomber.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Vic fought Nonito.
Yeah.
How many months later?
I don't know. A year?
9 months later.
Oh, 9 months?
Wow. That was one of the best performances of all time by Nonito.
When Nonito was on, what a
Yeah,
talent.
but that fight, that was like
Farad?
that was the best fight.
Nonito Donaire? He's still around.
Yeah.
He's in the
Farad
Bantamweight
versus
tournament.
Ward rematch at light heavy? Question mark.
I'll go with Ward.
And also Fernando Vargas.
Ward by decision.
Fernando Vargas versus Canelo at Canelo.
At Canelo weight? Vargas would have loved Canelo weight. That would have given him 1 extra pound. He killed himself to make 154. Yeah, Vargas would be like, thank you, I'll take that extra pound. I think Vargas at his best, at his junior middleweight best, beats Canelo at his junior middleweight best and Canelo's best at Canelo weight because he's busier. And Vargas was an excellent technician with a great jab. And I think that enables him to out-jab and outwork and narrowly outpoint Canelo. Canelo would have his spots, obviously, because Canelo's a tremendous fighter. But, yeah, I think Vargas at his best. Let's say the Vargas from 98, 99. Vargas that beat Raul Marquez. That Vargas, to me, that Vargas beats Canelo. No disrespect to Canelo.
And who do we know
I think he
that
could
trained Nonito but quit because of the father?
Was that Don Hamilton?
Yeah. And we were both at Nonito's pro debut.
Yeah, that was in Inglewood.
Hollywood Park.
But yeah, I was gonna say not at the Forum.
John Conith versus Joe
Hey, those cards were fun.
Kalaze.
You know who used to go there
Dad.
a lot? Was the actor Mickey Rourke.
Dad, John Cohen.
He knows his boxing, man.
No, he's good.
Yeah, he's cool.
We used to,
He's a little bit out
we
there.
used to work out at the gym.
Oh yeah, what was that called?
Outlaw.
The Outlaw Gym. Yeah.
John.
That was Freddie Roach's gym
John
before he got his
Conith.
own. Yeah, Conte.
Contact, yeah. Versus Joe Kalaze.
Joe Calzaghe at light heavy. I'll go with Calzaghe narrowly on points, but that's an entertaining fight. That guy must be from Europe, probably
It was
the
Tom
UK.
Gray who asked.
Oh, Tom.
Okay, I'm
What's
gonna
up,
give
Tom?
This is the last question.
All right.
Dougie.
Yeah. Last question, everybody.
October 10th, 1962.
Yeah.
In Tokyo.
Yeah.
Flyweight title.
Yeah.
This is their first fight.
Whoa.
Guy wins the flyweight title. KO 11. You know them both.
Are they both Hall of Famers? One guy from Japan and one guy from Thailand?
Yeah.
So it's fighting Harada,
Yeah.
beating Pone Kingpet.
Yeah. Yeah. King Petch.
Someone said,
And people from Thailand, I know I mispronounce both of those names.
you
but
mispronounce a lot of names.
It's
Dad.
spelled Pone. That's the first name, right?
Yeah.
And the last name is Kingpech or something like that, right?
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know how they say it.
Azuma versus El Terrible.
Fighting Harada, everybody.
Azuma versus El Terrible.
Azuma versus El Terrible.
You see,
I
you
gotta go
have
with
that.
I gotta go with Nelson. Nelson never fought as light as 122, but he was a featherweight and he was a junior lightweight. And I think those would have been savage fights with underrated craft. But I got to go with the professor. Probably, arguably, Nelson is the greatest African fighter of all time.
Yeah, I know. We love Nelson Mandela.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's my
Who
favorite.
boxed? Who boxed?
Oh, he did? Oh.
Nelson Mandela.
Was
he
there a
loved
rematch clause in the Jesse Vargas fight last night, Doug?
I don't think so. No. That was a good fight, though. I thought, even with that flash knockdown in round 12, I thought Vargas just edged it. But I wasn't mad at the draw. It was a really good. Delorme showed me something. I have a rekindled respect for Tomas Delorme. He's a really good fighter. I think Joel Diaz did a good job with him, and they should stick together. And Jesse Vargas is a hell of a fighter. I feel bad for him. He's had 2 really tough 12-round fights, and they're both draws. And that's probably a hard pill to swallow because he trained very hard, and he gave a lot of himself in both fights, and he doesn't get the victory.
But he didn't get a loss.
What was that?
He did not get a loss.
No, he didn't get a loss. I hope, I still consider him a top 10 welterweight contender. What's up, Alan?
How you doing?
I'm good.
Are you live?
Yes,
Yeah.
we're live.
right now?
Yeah.
Can you tell everybody to wear their sunscreen again?
What was that?
Did you tell
You
everyone?
can
Oh,
tell
yeah,
him.
you guys need to start saying that. Yeah.
This is
Can you-
Dr. Allen.
All right, you don't have to get the hat, but it is pretty cool.
It is.
You should put on your sunscreen extra thick.
Alan is a professional beekeeper.
Was it? Oh, yeah.
Dermatologist, but who's asking?
That's right.
Oh, that's pretty
Lots of
interesting.
thick SPF 100,
Also-
really good for you.
Allen is the 10th fastest 100-meter runner in the U.S. and the 25th
Wow.
fastest in the world
Whoa.
at his age group.
First of all, it was 17th, but I like the bragging rights. I only got to be 17th in
This
the
guy's
US.
your age.
I got good for it. Go really fast, really fast.
Yeah. That's really fast. Azuma versus Indy.
Anyway?
Yeah.
Well, Azuma Nelson was never as light as a bantamweight, so that's Nelson. He's too big for Inoue. But Inoue, good grief, what a stud, what a monster,
Hey, so
what a pound for pound elite boxer.
I love those
I
Japanese
want to
champs.
remind everyone here, every day when you get up in the morning.
Amen. Amen.
Okay.
I'm feeling it, Pastor.
Okay.
Pastor Schwartz.
No, you're going to say this.
2
You're gonna-
questions.
This is what you're going to say. You have 2 questions. You're going to say to yourself, you're going to say, Alan, I've got 2 choices today, and I have to pick one of them. Am I going to be happy, or am I going to be very happy today? Those are the, and you have
Yeah.
to pick one.
Amen.
Okay?
Yeah. My
Now,
dad
wait.
needs to start.
Remember,
doing that.
so not only drive
I'm kind of
carefully-
grumpy in the mornings, aren't I?
Listen to this.
Oh, man. When I got to drive her downtown LA, that's a stressful hour.
Wait, did she give you crap driving there? too?
No, she's usually apologizing for making us late.
And then he's like, don't apologize when I'm like, what do you
I
want
get
me to
over
say?
I get over it, but for about 15, 20 minutes, I ain't happy behind her.
Crawford versus the late
I gotta
Valero.
change my attitude.
Yeah.
Two words.
Like,
Seven.
Full line.
well, my school starts at 8, so like we have to like.
If we don't leave by 7,
Yeah.
there's no guarantee I get her there on time. It's that traffic is that awful.
Good morning.
This
You hear
this
that?
LA morning traffic ain't no good.
I'm scared when he does that.
Yeah.
Me too.
Double
I did the
duty.
same.
Did you?
You know what my parents did?
I'm taking my hats off. My
But she
tat.
always seems grateful.
Bus token.
That's good.
Kiss me goodbye and out
Yeah.
she
Do
goes.
Uber.
Hey, and Kobe's kids take a helicopter.
Do they really?
Yeah, why don't we start doing that?
They
Really?
He has a helicopter.
All right, we're gonna roll. Just one
All
second.
right.
See you guys.
What's up, Alan?
Chicago gym. don't
Your
forget.
coach here.
Hey, are you going to
Introduce him.
fights?
Oh, this is Sean. Sean,
Hi, Sean.
I met him in yoga class. The guy was very
Hi.
stretchy,
Good.
so I
Yeah.
said, I could show you the fast twitch stuff.
Good.
You show me the.
Oh, all right.
Sean, show me the
Good.
yoga stuff.
That's good. You,
Nice to
both.
meet you.
You gotta have
Yes.
both. Yes.
I'm Josephine, by the way. Yeah.
And if you're stuck on the New York subway and you're wondering why it's not modernizing fast enough, this guy knows how to get it done faster.
Yeah, so,
He's involved.
So call him.
Engineer.
And he says it's so clean in New
It's
York.
financial work.
Oh, okay.
He can't even bring the people he works with donuts. That's how clean New York City is.
Really?
New city, right?
My dad
Donuts?
has been telling me why.
Hey, so Alan, are you going to the June Bucks fight?
Of course.
Okay, so
Junebug, October 12th.
Yeah.
Next Friday.
Did you get
This
your-
Friday.
Did you get your tickets yet?
No.
So when you get one, will you get me one? Then pay you back. No, don't. No, aren't you just getting them through Dave? Yeah. Well, we'll talk about it.
Okay. I'll
Anyway, remember,
you guys up.
remember, not only drive carefully, but you got to walk carefully.
Yes. And don't
All right,
yell
now
at your
you're right.
daughters in the car.
Oh man, I'm on blast today. Yes, Josie.
Thank you to our special guest, Sean. Wait, what's your name again? Andrew.
Alan.
Oh, Alan, yeah. And Benjamin.
Thank you,
And-
Jesse.
Holding you up.
That's good.
Are you
Anyway,
Israeli or something?
have a great week.
Oh, Ben Amin.
Have a great week. Be happy.
Yeah, have a great week, everyone.
Be positive.
And always remember to put on sunscreen.
Love everyone.
Yeah.
Love
Wait,
everything.
well, last thing, do you see that bag over there? It says Erewhon.
Yeah.
It's a supermarket. You can get really good yogurt there.
Yeah.
One serving is only $13.
Only.
That's on sale.
I'm a good day.
Yeah.
Okay. Peace.
Bye.
Bye. See you.